Artsy buddies, what's up, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I am going to be painting for 20 hours. Now you may be wondering, why exactly 20 hours? Well, before I get on to talking about that, I just want to quickly take a moment and apologize for not uploading since the past 2 months. I haven't uploaded since the past 2 months, and that is a long time. So I'm very sorry for not uploading. It's just there's been a lot of things that's been happening. I've had school, I've had exams, and it's also Ramadan, so it's just been hard trying to find the time. Also, a lot of my exams just kept getting postponed. It was like the Mother Nature did not want our exams to be over, which was very annoying. But I'm glad it's over now. Anyways, and now on to the question, why exactly 20 hours? Well, that is because this is Artsy Caboodle's 200th video. So I really wanted to do something that had to include the number 200. I was very committed to the idea of painting for 200 hours, but then after my exams, I decided to give it some thought, and I was like, maybe 200 hours is a little too much, also considering Ramadan is approaching, which it is here now. So I decided to cut down the time from 200 hours to 20 hours, which I know is a big fat cut. I'm not going to be able to paint for 20 hours straight. I'm going to have to do this over the span of a couple of days because I've got school, I've got a lot of things to do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you can watch it to the end. It may be a little bit longer than my other ones, but I still hope you enjoy. Let us begin. I actually have a cutter this time, unlike last time. The canvas keys, which I don't even use. So much plastic. Let us set the timer. Hours. Oh, it has begun. So I got started with measuring and marking about 45 centimeters on the canvas, and then I just went ahead and drew a whole bunch of lines because this painting is going to have a lot of squares, 99 to be exact, but I couldn't really get the exact numbers, so there were a few extra. Anyways, this whole entire measuring and planning and drawing all these squares out part took me like about an hour, which is a long time, so I need to start drawing a little bit more faster. And I asked my entire family what color scheme I should go for because I am an indecisive soul, and we've kind of settled on yellow. I'm not sure if it's going to look the best, but I'm just going to trust the process and trust my family, and let's hope it turns out good. So taking all the yellow acrylic paint I have, I just squeezed it all on this random crusty, musty palette. It's not even a palette, but that came out very beautifully. It's just a piece of plastic that I've turned into an acrylic paint palette. I also had to cut open 2 tubes of my yellow paint so I'd have enough. That was sad, but now we shall begin the painting. That is one square done. We have about 100 more to go. This is going to take forever. So of course, I'm not going to make you sit here till forever, so we're just going to speed up the process. But basically what I'm doing here is just taking all the different shades of yellow I've made, and I'm just putting them in different squares on the canvas, and also trying to create a bit of a contrast while trying to put the light colors near the brighter colors and trying to put the darkest color in between the lightest colors, like basically trying to create a contrast and not putting the exact same colors next to each other to create some type of a cool look. I don't know, but it took a lot of my thinking power, and I was being very rough with this layer. A lot of the colors were overlapping, and it just wasn't the neatest, but it still ended up taking me way longer than I expected. Okay, so we have 16 hours and 47 minutes left, and this is what we have done so far. It's not a lot, but it is still a lot because most of the background is complete. I still have a few squares left. I need a second coat because a lot of it is not very even. A lot of it is overlapping each other. You can see the pencil lines on some of them, so we're going to have to try and cover all that up. The only one square that is properly covered up is that one right over there, so we're going to have to attempt to make all of them look like that. So that's going to be a little bit of a process because I also did not mix enough paint, and I have to attempt to try and remix the exact same paints, which hopefully that's not going to take me too long, but I have a feeling that's going to take me too long, so let's get into it. Okay, so the painting is looking very different right now because I did a lot of things off camera. First of all, I gave it a whole entire second coat, and the color mixing process was a big fat process. I didn't even mix the exact same color, and we're not going to talk about that, but it took forever. And I also went ahead and drew some orange lines. Then I also went ahead and sketched out all the entire 99 names, and 99 names is a lot of names, and this is Arabic, so it took me a lot longer than I expected. And now we are coming close to the 10-hour mark in this challenge, and I'm not even done with this painting. I did not really plan on spending 10 hours on this painting. I thought I'm going to be out here doing this challenge, painting at least 5 to 6 paintings, but here I am still stuck on the first one. Just go ahead and start writing, and then we'll talk more. I cannot write while this thing is on the easel. It's just... Okay, so now that we're properly writing, let me tell you that I actually bought a black pen just for this painting. I just don't understand why nothing ever that writes with black and it's fine. It just never works ever. I just don't know why. Like if I buy a marker or a set of sketch pens, the black one will be the first to run out, and I don't know why all the black markers that I've been hoarding, none of them work properly. So maybe I should throw them. But yeah, I had to go ahead and get this pen, and I am so glad I did because it made the process so much more easier. At first, I wasn't really, I didn't know how to write with it properly because I actually don't know how to use a calligraphy pen. If you do, then please help me, teach me in the comments. But I decided to use it however I could, and it definitely made the process so much more easier when I got a hang of it. Or else if I would have used a paintbrush and paint, this would have taken me extra 5 hours, okay? And I was not going to go ahead and spend extra 5 hours on this. No way. But thankfully, we got the pen and we wrote much faster, and now we are in the last and final name, and my hand is in pain. Why is this not freaking working? Okay, we're done. Have 8 hours and 39 minutes left out of the 20 hours that we began with. So I think I now finally understand why this painting took me so long. It's because I had to do like every single step twice. First of all, there was a lot of measuring, a lot of squares, like a lot of lines involved, which took a good amount of time. And then I had to do all the paint part, which took a lot of thinking. And then I had to do it the second time for the second coat. So that was like done twice. And then I had to write everything with a pencil first and then with a pen. So because I think everything took 2 layers, I kind of ended up taking twice the amount of time than I thought. So I feel like now my brain is sort of figuring out why it took me so long. But I do wish I would have been able to done with this. What? That was a little too fast even for my brain. But I do wish I would have been able to do this a little bit more faster. But I think it's fine. I like how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. Now we're going to go ahead and start a new painting. And I'm hoping, really hoping it does not take me 8 hours. Let us begin. This one actually does not come with canvas keys. Instead, it comes with this little thing that you can use to actually hang the painting. Much cooler than canvas keys, I think. Wait, I still have to sketch on the canvas, which is going to take me a long time. Why am I squirting this paint already? Oh, and the timer has begun. So for the sketch of this painting, I'm just sketching out some random Arabic letters, kind of randomly. I've actually never done a background like this one, so I was very confused as to how do I begin? How am I supposed to exactly do this? I didn't know, but I just sketched out a bunch of letters, and I thought it looked cool, and I didn't even realize, but my hand was covered in graphite. Anyways, now we can get on to the painting, not the painting, the paint mixing process, for which I'm starting off by mixing a light shade of maroon. switching the canvases, and then we can begin painting, which I'm going to start by painting the letters with the light shade of maroon that we just mixed. Now, this painting is actually a recreation by an absolutely incredible artist I found on Instagram. It is at Art by YEahhhh, and I think you should definitely go follow her, because when I first came across her reel, I was like, this is so beautiful, and then I looked at another one, and I was like, this is so aesthetic, and every single one of them, I just kept loving them, and then I came across this painting, which I just thought was so beautiful, and I did take permission from her to see if I can recreate it, and she let me, so I'm recreating the painting by her, and I just feel like she did such an incredible job. Her art account is so beautiful. You need to follow her, so just go follow her. I will leave it in the description down below. But yeah, now we're just quickly going ahead and finishing up all the letters. We have 7 hours left, and now I'm gonna go. That was too loud. We now have 7 hours left, and now I'm gonna go ahead and mix another shade of maroon. Oh my gosh, I don't think we have any more paint left in this palette. I mean, not a palette, it's a tube of paint. Now I'm mixing up a darker shade, or like an actual shade of maroon, which we're going to use for the background. Now, when I was painting the letters, I wasn't actually very careful. I painted them very roughly. So now with this darker shade of maroon, I have to be very careful, and I have to make sure I fill in the background very evenly with an even coat and clean up all of these letters, which is a huge process, and I was very annoyed while doing it. Because just look at all the little areas that I have to go through. It was like just so tedious of a process. Anyways, I actually had to take the canvas off the easel and put it on the table to get into the cleaning up part, because it was pretty hard on the easel. Okay, so we're running into some problems over here. First things, this layer is absolutely not smooth at all, which means I'm gonna have to do a second coat, and I really did not want to do a second coat, so I'm not liking how things are going right now, and I still have so much left to do, and I have run out of this shade of maroon. I am also running out of my red paint, so let's go ahead and suffer. This is how much I've gotten done. I still have this little area left, but I ran out of the red again. The maroon, not the red. I ran out of the maroon again, so I'm gonna have to remix it for the third time, but I'm not gonna do that now because it's late, so we're gonna continue the painting tomorrow. Goodbye. Okay, so we're finally done, not with the painting, just the background, which took a very long time to do because there was a lot of things that I had to clean up. As much as I did not want to, I had to go ahead and do a second coat on the background color time, and I also had to sacrifice 3 tubes of red paint, so now I don't have red anymore, and I'm sad about that. And now we have 3 hours left. 2 hours and 50 minutes to be exact, but about 3 hours left, and I am just gonna go ahead and take my sweet time to do the writing on top in gold, so let's go ahead and do that. Also, just to let you know, if you see any red on my hand, that's not blood, it's just paint, because I have been using red paint since hours now, and I kind of burned myself a little bit. I don't know why I decided to show that, but anyways, then we just went ahead and sketched out the lettering, and I was actually going to use a gold paint for this, but then I just grabbed a gold marker and decided to go with that, which this marker was so scratchy to work with, probably because I was using it on a canvas, but it was still so scratchy. I hated it so much, but I still decided to keep going because I thought the paint would now just take me way too long. I just want to be done with this painting, so I went with the marker even though it was so scratchy, but I'm glad I did because later on I discovered an absolutely genius idea, which was to stab the marker like a million times on the palette until a lot of ink comes out, and then use a paintbrush in that ink and paint, which was so satisfying to work with. I loved this part of the process. Finally done with another painting, and I now have 30 minutes left. I think I still may be able to create some smaller things, so let's go do that. I don't know if you can coffee stain wood, but that's what I'm gonna do. Was this a bad idea? Probably. Now, of course, wood takes a long time to dry, so I'm just going to be quick, and I'm going to dry with a hairdryer. Okay, a little hair drying later, or wood drying later, I don't know. This is what we have ended up with, and I don't know if I like it. I guess it just kind of looks a little bit more rustic and burnt. I don't know if I like it or not. I may have just ruined it, but I don't really care because this is all I've got left. So we're gonna paint on it anyways. I just realized I wasn't recording. So I've had wood slices lying around, and I've had this idea since a while to write some sentences from the Quran on them, so every time you kind of walk past them, you get to read it. So yeah, I decided to finally do that. I just finished both of these, and I look over to see the timer, to see how much time I have left, and I just realized that I didn't even turn the timer on. I just turned it on and I still have 27 minutes left. I actually don't. Like, 20 minutes would be over by now, which means I would have like 7 minutes left. So I'm not going to start anything new in 7 minutes. We are done. Okay, and these are the last and final two things that I have created. I'm not really going to call these paintings because they are not paintings. I didn't even use paint. I literally used like marker and coffee, so yeah. Anyways, that was all for the video. I'm actually very, very glad now that I did not do this for 200 hours, because if I did it for 200 hours, I'd probably be dead now. Maybe not dead, but I'd be very tired and it would probably have taken me a month or something. So I'm very glad I did not do that and I stuck to 20 hours. I do wish I would have been able to create more paintings because I only created like 2 proper paintings, but I am very happy with how those 2 paintings turned out. So that was all for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then I'm very, very glad that you did. Until I upload another video, make sure you... And that is the 20 hours complete. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until I upload another video, make sure you all stay Artsy, and goodbye!